FlyQuest swapped their 80s during the offseason. I don't think it made them like better.
Whoever wins that match will continue progressing throughout the season, and whoever loses that is just doomed.
When it does leave the team, the re-engage, the counter Cassiopeia comp that C9 is trying to use does just that. One more Fang they put down high. Impact is the next focus. He's gonna go down.
FlyQuest keeps showing up.
Baron goes to Jetson and Cloud9, and they start to wipe down Fly.
Welcome, League fans, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there tuning in to join us for some League action on this beautiful Sunday afternoon as the fans have packed the arena to cheer on their favorite teams in their quest for glory. We had the players themselves arriving earlier today. Here the fans they are. We got a prayer for FlyQuest, hoping they can pick up a victory in the Civil War against Cloud9, the Envy bot lane. They've been performing quite well so far this split, looking to continue to do so as they go up against TSM. Here they are strolling in. Biofrost behind them. That bot lane gonna be tested by the NV1. Dardoch and Huhi, though, all smiles as they prepare for their games today. Coach Zix giving a wave to the camera, about to talk some straps with his team. And Special, the newest addition to P1, making his way onto the stage. We'll see if he can continue to be the kryptonite for CLG as we get another shot of our leaderboards. Jensen, Stixay, Froggen, each topping a table of their own. Hello, everyone. I'm James Dash Patterson. I've got 99 problems, and these guys are 98 of them. Mark Zerman, Joshua Jat-Leesman, how you guys doing?
You switched that up.
I know, of course I did.
Compliment, on air it was a flame.
That's how
it goes.
Are we both one problem, or is one of us specifically a problem?
No, I said you guys are 98 of the 99.
I missed.
Yeah, your inability to listen to me is one of those problems.
I'm happy to be here, James.
Hey. Lock it down. Lock it down. Open the ears. Tune in. Let's start off by reviewing how the teams rank going into the day. Immortals ended their weekend in first after taking down Cloud9, while teams like Echo Fox and TSM try to catch up from fourth place. We'll see who can do so with our games today. First up on NALCS 1, Team Envy goes against TSM, followed by our Civil War bout between Hive's FlyQuest and Jensen's Cloud9. Over on NALCS 2, Phoenix 1 hope their CLG Kryptonite Special will net the team's first win of the split, and then Team Dignitas take to the Battle Theater opposite Echo Fox. Now, last split, the Civil War match between FlyQuest and Cloud9 was a battle for first place, but now it's just about two teams who are fighting to find consistency.
And Moon even said that whoever loses this is doomed. That might be a little dramatic, but the sentiment is kind of there where it's kind of make or break for FlyQuest in particular. C9, it's kind of more about if they can actually get up to where they want to be as one of the top teams in the league. If you drop another set here, they're starting to look really, really bad in terms of their potential to move late into playoffs.
Yeah, and these guys got to remember it's a 9-week split, and on top of that, they both actually have a decent number of championship points, so they'll probably be in the regional qualifier. So Moon needs to think not so much about being doomed and more about how are they going to find themselves so they can be good later in the season, because that's what matters. I think Cloud9 understands that, especially someone like Sneaky, who's been going to the World Championship since 2013. They definitely have looked, I almost think, a lot better than FlyQuest, even though they only have one more match win. So I favor them in this matchup, but it's a little disappointing that it's not as hyped as it was before. It's more about who can stay in contention to be a top team this time.
Yeah, it's something about these kinds of matches, right? When you look at either rivalries or, somehow close-knit teams, they usually end up being exciting best-of series, even though it might on paper look lopsided. It's important to note while the teams are looking to find themselves, Sneaky's looking for 7 more kills to hit that 1,000 career mark, so we'll see if he can get it today. I mean, 2 games is really all you need to get that many kills.
It's not too difficult to do, especially like we said with playmaking supports and all this stuff. More kills happening around the bot lane. Hopefully he's able to grab a couple over the course of this series. And knowing FlyQuest, their games can get pretty bloody, so not going to be the hardest series to find 7 kills.
Yeah, yesterday FlyQuest series against COG had about 125 kills across 3 games. It was insanely death-filled. And another thing about the matchup, you mentioned storylines. High versus Jensen is always something I want to show up for, just because High being back in mid lane, I still like that. I think he's playing still pretty well, but the team just needs to come in around him.
Hey, threw out the cheeky tweet yesterday. Hey, Jensen, you ready to get clapped? We'll see if it happens here today. Now, like Cloud9, teams are integrating subs into their starting rosters more and more. In fact, 50% of our teams up to this point in Week 3 have made some substitution or change to their roster, if not more than one.
And I think the term substitution is the correct one here. Sometimes you hear that and it's really a benching. A player's not going to play at all the rest of the split with the team after they get taken out. But a lot of these guys seem like they're pretty fluid in who they can take in and out of their rosters. And it's surprising to see it this early on in the split. I don't think we've ever seen this many in any split before, where over 50% of the teams are now using someone who was not the starter on day one.
Exactly. I think Shrimp coming in for Chaser was maybe the most successful one. Okay. Because he's someone who subbed in for one of their harder matchups and still found success. So I kind of expect to see a little bit more of him. Chaser, you can see, even though the win-loss record is still pretty close, they've played much harder teams when Shrimp has been in there. Looking at the rest of the teams as well, though, like Phoenix 1, I think they're mainly making the changes because they're losing all their games. If you start losing, you have to do that, but absolutely more teams utilizing it as they build out larger rosters, as we get more experienced players in the league with which to sub in.
Right.
Like Special coming in. This dude's been in the league for 5 years, and you can pull him in to try and pull your season back. I mean, it's a good call.
When you've got Special in as the veteran, slotting right alongside Mike Young, and I think that's the thing, right? You've got one veteran who's got the experience, and now it's just about him finding synergy with, with his team and with Arrow specifically in the bot lane, but also being able to help coach and lead Mike Young, as he develops into the pro scene.
I think that's the big thing, just because there does seem to be a lack of, leadership and direction within that team. You saw some of their pick bans start getting crazy in terms of also just desperate play, it felt like. Arrow, Ryu, and Zig all not looking quite up to form, so having that kind of jolt that can kind of come when you move a player out and bring someone else in, just kind of a fresh look at the game, can often kind of realign what you need to think about.
Yeah, when Special was at his first World Championship, Mike Young was 12.
There you go. There's no perspective.
Now you're playing with your hero.
Just graduated high school. Here he is making his LCS, debut. Well, made it yesterday, I guess, and here again today. Now, I want to talk lastly about Echo Fox, Acadian, Grig as one of the other big substitutions that we've seen. But also, more specifically, I want to look at Acadian and the way that he's developed as a player with the introduction of the substitution. He seems to have matured quite a bit over the past 5 months.
I like what I hear out of Acadian every time he has an interview this split, because I know when he really came in, he was the guy who wanted to trash talk and show how good he was and how many kills he can get and how he can be better than the other jungler. But that's not what wins you games. You can get first blood, but you have to be able to play with the rest of the team. And I think Acadian has kind of grasped that, and I look forward to see if he can continue to grow as a player, since he's got those skills, but he needs to make them work with the rest of the team.
Just the whole organization of Echo Fox having a full 10-man roster, actually trying to use it, get people experience, especially, as we've heard about as we move into the franchising system, having a full 10-man roster with your academy team is something that Echo Fox is kind of already putting into use, which is good to see.
Yeah, six wins there for Acadian speaks to that mentality of let's get the W's. It's not necessarily about my individual stat line and or performance, as long as we're working together as a team. Now, if you have questions for us throughout the day, make sure to tweet at us using the NALCS hashtag, and Zyrene, Kobe, and I will pull a few answer later tonight on NALCS Tonight. It's time now, though, to throw it over to the casters. We've got Zyrene and Captain Flowers standing by on NALCS 2, and our two most puppy crazy LCS 1. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Dash.